What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Making the Case. Let's see here. Making the Case. What's going on, fam? How you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome. Sorry running a little bit late, but we gonna get this show started, y'all. Making the Case. What's going on, Nancy? What's going on, Sean? David? We're going to let this room fill up. Nancy, holla at me, sis. I want to make sure you're good. I want to make sure everybody else here is good. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to have you guys here in the house in full effect. Why? Because it's the JD for y'all. And so, nevertheless, I'm so excited for us to have our session tonight. Again, Making the Case. We do it every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Man, we have some phenomenal guests lined up for you guys in the future. I'm so excited for you guys to make sure that you're able to talk to people, meet people, engage with people who are doing what you want to do and seeing it as something that is actually possible, y'all. And so I'm really excited to start this journey with you. Let me go ahead and write my pen. I want to ask you guys a question. Why do you want to be a lawyer? Nancy, you know about that question. Sean, you know about that question. All right. I want you guys to answer that question in the chat box, okay? We're going to have some conversations, all right? All right. So, again, my name is Anthony, founder of Becoming JD, where our mission, our goal, of course, is to help you guys take the next step, manifest your lawyer dreams, and make it happen, y'all. Right? I know right now we're in the midst of application season, so a lot of people are in the process of trying to figure out, what do I do? Do I take the LSAT? Do I hold off on the LSAT? Do I wait again until next year? There's only 2 months left until 2024 is here, right? And so a lot of you guys are worried. A lot of you guys are feeling very anxious. I want to let you guys know it's going to be all right. You're going to become a lawyer in the end, all right? You get what I'm saying? Go ahead and raise your hand. You're going to become a lawyer in the end. You hear that, Nancy? You hear that? For the love of freeing old? You hear that, Tamar? You're going to become a lawyer in the end. Right now, I know it's hard, y'all. I know it's hard. I know it's stressful. Nancy, you got it, sis. You're stronger than you think. I want you guys to realize that everything that you're going through right now is going to prepare you for being great law students. And great law students are going to help you become law grads. It's going to help you become, guess what? Great lawyers. All right? And so today's session, we're going to have a pleasure of having Attorney Nadine on. I'm really excited about that, you guys. And so, as usual, as our chat box continues to fill up, I want you to go out and let me know where it is you're viewing our session from. Of course, I am holding it down here in Missouri, St. Louis, y'all. Where are you guys viewing our session from? I love the interactions that's going on in our chat box. I love it. I love it. For the love of freeing gold, especially when they keep changing where the prep materials are from Khan Academy to Law Hub. All right, so we got Jersey in the house. I know we got Houston in the house, Dallas, Texas. All right, awesome. Congratulations, sweetheart. She signed up for the LSAT Test Masters. That's awesome. We got Dallas. You're right. I almost said Nancy. You're right. What's going on, Bugums? We got Florida in the house, NYC. I love y'all. We got Austin. Man, we got Texas rolling deep up in here, y'all. Where my H-Town folks at? We got Illinois in the house. New York. Always New York. Austin. Wow, we got 2 people from Austin. We got Jersey. That's fantastic, you guys. That's fantastic. All right, and Dallas, of course. All right, so again, on today's session, you guys, as usual, one of the things I always like to tell you guys is, wherever you are in the process, you got questions, fam, y'all better fill up my chat box and get those questions answered. We got South Carolina, of course, holding it down in King Street. All right, see you, fam. We want to make sure that wherever you are in the process, that you're going to come away from this session fed. You're going to come away from this session with a clear mind in regards to what it is that you need to do, okay? And so I want to make sure, don't be coming and leaving this session and have questions. So make sure wherever you are, throw a question in the chat box, okay? And one of the things that God put on my heart to tell you guys, and I've said this to a lot of my clients in the text messages and the DMs, y'all, we cannot get paralyzed by perfection. Because a lot of you guys, we're getting paralyzed, and because we're being paralyzed by perfection, we're not moving, all right? And so because of that, we're thinking that, oh, this isn't good enough. oh, you know, this situation is not ideal, so we're not making moves, okay? And so I want you guys to take those bold steps, right? And so that's why, for example, I know that there's a lot of events going on this weekend. We know down in H-Town in Houston at Texas Southern Law right now, they're going to be having an open house. We also know, for example, that we know that there's a lot of different things going on, all right? We know that, for example, also, I think today is the deadline for you guys to be able to apply to participate in the JLSAT program, where they're going to be giving free prep services over in Illinois. So make sure you check that out in the link in my bio. Not in the link in my bio, but in my stories, okay? We also know, to my folks out there that are in the DMV area, we also know it's a program called Clio Scholars Program that y'all, okay, it's free 99. Clio Connects, it's a scholars program, free 99. Literally all you have to do is sign up. I think I have the link literally in my stories, y'all, where all you have to do is just attend. They're going to tell you about how to finance while you're trying to apply to law school. And then on the 14th, and I know I called up my sister Nikita, who's out there in D.C., on December 14th, you guys, they're going to be actually having a speaker and a panel where they're going to have admissions folks from deans there to speak. And all you have to do, y'all, is show up. It's free. And so I know I called out my sisters and my brothers who are in the DMV area. So make sure that you guys, that link is also in the stories. All you got to do is click and register. Painless, okay? Because I want to make sure that you guys have all the resources you need to be successful. I don't want you guys on the reapplication tour, y'all. All right? So, hey, what's going on, Fatoma? What's going on, Breathe to Bloom? What's going on, Presidency? So I want to make sure that you guys are able to take advantage of these resources, because anytime I find something, you guys, I literally share it in my stories, because I want to make sure that you guys are capitalizing on it. I think Aisha said for the SEO Fellowship Program, can you apply if you have a 152? Now, for the SEO Fellowship Program, that was a post, you guys, that I made, I think maybe 2 days ago. And SEO is a fire program, y'all. They literally provide resources to you wherever you are in your journey. And to answer your question, Aisha, actually in the questionnaire, when I was reading the materials, they actually said they do make exceptions if your LSAT score is not at their requirement mark. But what they want you to do is they want you to fill out a questionnaire and look into what you can do for consideration, okay? And so for you guys who do not know what she's talking about, what Aisha's talking about is SEO Fellowship. Is a fellowship program which literally law firms from all over the country, I'm talking about the big law firms, have invested their resources into these programs to try to help get you guys into law school, to give you guys the resources. And one of the things that's amazing about these programs, you guys, with the SEO Fellowship, y'all, not only do you guys get a chance to intern at law firms before law school, but you also get an opportunity to get access to coachings and trainings that can help you while you're in law school. And guess what? They pay you for it. What? And it's free 99. So again, check that in the post. Don't just consume the material, man. I'm praying that you guys utilize the material, all right? What's going on, Foxy? And so what's going on, Shalinda? And so again, as you guys, again, continue to join the chat, I want you guys to let me know where it is that you're viewing our session from. I'm going to try to get our guest, Nadine, on so we can go ahead and get her on so you guys can hear her story, because I know you guys are here to hear from her.
Hi.
What's going on, fam? I am so blessed to have you here. Listen, you guys, what we're talking to right now, this is what I call legends. Because Nadine, I've had so many people talk to me about, especially with military backgrounds, talk about how they want to be a lawyer, how they want to go through JAG, but they don't see anybody doing the program that looks like them. And I remember literally during one of my sessions, when I said, we got to find somebody to talk to. And one of the young ladies, she told me, she said, man, I think it's someone named Nadine. I saw her in a Facebook group for JAG officers. She's my goals because I want to be like, she's the only person I've ever seen. And so I just want to tell you, Nadine, thank you so much for taking the time, because I definitely randomly sent you that message. You were like,
I did.
this is
true.
who this.
That's true. That's very true. Thank you. I'm so honored that someone even thought to tell, you about me. But whoever that was is right. When it comes to law school and especially like in the military, you don't see people that look like us. And so for me, that was really big. And so I do some recruiting to for the JAG Corps. And when I talk to students, I'm like, they're always like, I want somebody to look like me and somebody that they can relate to,
Mhm.
that's not telling them like some fake dream or whatever. Everybody has their own reason or why they want to be a lawyer or even want to be in the military, but it's being able to relate to the person who's trying to get you in the door.
Absolutely. And I just, Destiny said it was Destiny. And she said, yeah, it was me. And I just want to say thanks, Destiny. Destiny was the one who
Well,
told me about you. So I was
hi,
like, ooh.
Destiny. Thank
But
you.
again, let me give the formal introduction. But I tell everybody here that we all friends, family, and kin folks, and now you're part of the family. And so I want to let you guys know we had the pleasure of having legendary attorney Destiny, who made history, y'all. I didn't even know you made history like that. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story, because I think even people, you guys out there who are not in the military, you guys can relate to the story, because a lot of people out there, Destiny, they think, man, you know what? Because it's hard. That must be a sign from
No,
God that I need to quit.
no.
I'll go ahead and debunk the
Okay,
myth,
so
sis, and let them know your story.
I've been a JAG for about 10 years. I've been in the Navy for almost 20 years next year. Um, but of course, I didn't start out in the Navy as a lawyer. I started out as it's called a personnel specialist. I was like a person who did pay. Then I became a Navy paralegal. And once I did that, I realized that, like going to law school could be real for me. Like I knew when I was younger that I wanted to be a lawyer. When I was 16 years old, I got pregnant. So at that point, it was like, I don't think I can be a lawyer no more. Like, can this happen? So when the wheels started turning and I got to the point to where I was a Navy paralegal, I'm like, I think I could do this. I got my undergrad while I was on active duty, and then um with me deciding, okay, I want to be a lawyer through the military, they were like, there's no way for an enlisted person to go from paralegal to a lawyer, and like with the Navy paying for it, like there was no route to do that. So I am the first person ever, white, black, Mexican, male, female, whatever. I'm the first ever to go from being a Navy paralegal to a JAG.
And one of the things I want you to talk about in that experience, because I feel like when I tell a lot of my students, a lot of times, I feel like in life we get those what I
Mhm.
call affirmation moments. And I feel like a lot of times there's so many people, we kind of first tap our toe into the legal field, right? And we're like, okay, well, you know what? I'll
Mhm.
just be a paralegal. But then that moment happens, and it's amazing, because it's amazing. That moment happens where it's just like, hold on, I could
Yeah.
do this. I, you know,
Yeah.
I think I got this. And I want you to share with them, share with me, what
And
was that moment like for you?
it's honestly, it's almost like you want it and you want to believe it yourself, but it's almost like there's a period when you're scared to believe it. And so
Yeah.
like I
Mm-hmm.
today I can still remember thinking that I would never get my undergrad degree. Like it took like it feel like it
Wow.
just took me so long. I went to so many different schools. Like it took such a long time that I just didn't think it was gonna happen. And when it finally did, I was just like, I got it. It's in my hand. I'm going to do this. And then when I started thinking about law school, um, honestly, I didn't know how. You know what I mean? Like, So like when I say I went to a lot of undergrads, I think I went to like five, like five. But you're used to being like, oh, I just need to put the last school that I went to before, and that's good to go, because they're used to military moving around. I don't really need to put thought into it, but that's not the way law school applications work at all. And so knowing that, and then like the hurdles that come through that, I didn't like I'm terrible at test taking today. Like that I have ADD. This is not my thing. And having never had like I've always been an accelerated student, so I never like really had to study. And to get to law school to
Wow.
have to study and I didn't know how. And so, but the minute that you're like, I got accepted to this law school and I'm going, it was big. But you're like,
Yeah.
I did that. I'm here. And then it's like I went to University of Florida. It's not a lot of us there. Like not at all, not even a little bit. And
It just so happens that our
right.
post on
I didn't even
Florida
see it.
today.
Like
You saw
when
that?
I tell, there was not a lot in a sense that like I can name, there are like I know blacks that were in my class, but if you're thinking about like a Howard or a fam, no, it's not like that at all. It's like you're the few, and since it's so few of
Wonderful.
you, you're like just trying to like make sure you at least know the other, or it might be like 10, right? It's a
And
handful. And so you start to feel, and like this is me professional. I am from Chicago, like and so when I'm thrust into a whole new atmosphere, and well, you sound different, you look different, you act different. That's like real. And sometimes
yeah,
it's overwhelming, and you start to doubt yourself that you can't do it, but you can. Like when I told people in the Navy, like I want to be a lawyer, I want to do this, I started to get mentors and stuff, but there were so many people that was like, you can't do that. Like, so what's your plan B? Because that's not gonna work. I've
mm,
had people tell me that no, you won't get accepted. You'll never be a JAG. You'll never do this. Like I literally have had, and the best part is being able to be like, remember you said you'll never get to do this, but that's it. Like comes with the territory. So yes, you get to law school. You're there. If you're going to a PWI, it's not that many of you, and it's hard. And it's hard. It is hard. Okay, like maybe there are some people that law school was not hard for them. I was not that person. It was
they lying.
hard. So like I had to learn how to study. I got diagnosed with ADD, and now I'm was trying to like figure that whole scenario out. But in the end, like you can do it. Forget all those people who was like, you can't do that. What's your backup? Because for me, I- it's sad in a way, like just like as far as my career goes, that there have been so many people along the way that told me that I won't be able to do it. That luckily I didn't
Damn.
take that in. I just expected them to be like, I'm sure you think I can't do it, but I know I can. So moving on, don't have all right, let me keep it going on. And I just got used to that.
Absolutely. I see.
I see this question. So now for this person that says I'm having trouble with the PWI now, should I go to an HBCU law school? I am not the person to tell you to abandon ship.
Right.
Uh, but I'm the kid that went to like 9 or 10 elementary, middle schools, 5 high schools, like I went to a lot, not because like I didn't, we moved a lot. So if you think it will work for you, great. But just think about it when it comes GPA time. Now you're at a new school starting all over. So if you could, if you could stick with it and it's not so bad, stay. But if it's so bad that you think that you can't, you got to do what's best for your mental health and what works for your learning, for your experience. But I'm not going to be the person that says it's hard, jump out the pot, because everything is hard. So,
Yeah. And just to jump piggyback on what she's saying is the truth of the matter, you guys, and I was actually just having this conversation with somebody else before, is that the security blanket that HBCUs provide is amazing, but eventually you're going to have to leave that blanket.
yes.
You're going to have to take those steps where you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be one of few again. And if you're going to go to a PWI, if you're going to transfer, it's going to have the same challenges no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I think is amazing about this whole lawyer journey, and you can attest to this, is this whole thing, we over here thinking, and tell me if you think this is true, Nadine, we over here thinking that we over here learning about the law. But I honestly think, Nadine, what this whole process, what we're really doing is learning about ourselves.
Right. You're learning, like, where is your breaking point?
Yeah.
Where is your integrity? Because I know in law school, there are people that, they might have the key, or in the sense of like they got this briefing thing down. And maybe you might have a group that's like, oh, this is the study group, we're going to do this together and we're going to share. But you might have the group that be like, because
Mm-hmm.
I need this scholarship, so I need this A, and you got to get yours however you get yours. And so, but you will learn so much about yourself. You will be like, I ain't never studied this much in my
Right.
life. And I can't, like, now, today, it's been 10 years since I graduated. And I think about, like, whether it's like taking another class or like school, and I just be like, oh man, school. Like I don't even, my brain can't take me back to like an occasion where I need to write 50, 100 pages, like for some
Mm-hmm.
class. And you learn, if you never had to do it before, you learn like study methods, because there is no more winging it. There's
Yeah.
no more winging it.
Right.
You have to know what you like. You have to be able to read whatever that case is and pull out the important things. You won't be able to, you might think back to being an undergrad or even high school, and you can like kind of BS your way on through, no, it's not happening. You learn strength. You learn how to function on lack of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes
Right.
normal. So, but you can do it. Like, I can't say it enough to like, there are going to be so many people that don't want you to succeed. But guess what? It's going to be a lot of people that's be like, I got you. Like when I said I wanted to be a lawyer, when I said I wanted to be a JAG, I was a Navy paralegal. And there were like people that were already JAGs, like, I got you. Like what you need, what, like to this day, like one of my, like, she's still a mentor and friend, but like from day one, she was already a JAG and was just like, I got you. What do you need? Do you need to talk, vent, help? And she like really like walked me through the process, you know with like law school, in school, when it's real hard. Now you will have them days where it's so hard and you thinking that you're gonna fail, like, or contracts is hard, or whatever the subject is, right? And you'll have those days, you'll cry, you'll snot it out, and then you'll move on. and it'll be just fine. Y'all, I'm so happy to see like so many like my line sister is on here, and some of my JAG friends is on here, and my best friend. And since I see all of them on there, you have to have your circle.
Yeah.
Like that is so important. You have to have your circle. And I say that because I remember, going after undergrad, you got all these friends, y'all hanging out, you got all this time. In law school, you will realize that there is no more brunch. There is no more happy hour. There is no more like, hey, let's kick back and watch a movie. If For me, it was only school. I carried my books around. Like my boyfriend at the time would say, let's go out to dinner. All right, books, laptop, everything. Can't you just put that down for once? Nope. I took it with me everywhere so that by the time I graduated law school, my phone like stopped ringing. Like like it didn't ring at all. Like I was like, man, I used to have friends. Like nobody calls, nobody texts. And that's because they're not gone. They got used to knowing that you're not going anyway.
Right.
And your real friends will be like you won't have talked to them for like months, maybe half of the year at 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 graduation, you would call them up and they'd be like, "Did you do it, girl? You did! Oh my gosh, that's so great!" And you could pick right it up, but you could also not talk to them for half a semester and then call them boohoo crying because it's hard.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of circle that you need. You need those people that are going to uplift you and help you and support you. And I don't care if the people that tell you that you can't do it is family, fake friends,
Yeah.
the people at your job, you know, but you can. It's hard. The person that told you that they got through it with a breeze, they lied. It's hard.
Right.
And I'm not saying that to deter you. Like, and so you get people to be like, oh, that's hard. You don't want to do that. No, I'm not saying it's hard. You don't want to do that. I'm letting you know it's not going to be all roses. It's hard. Put on your boots and trudge through it and just do it. But yes, I think that I can't press enough, y'all. You can do it.
And one of the things, the reason why you even created Becoming JD was to provide that support, to be that, that tribe, to be that circle, to be able to provide you guys support during this journey. Because I know a lot of times this process is very isolating. It's a lot of the stuff is just it's a lot of internal battles that happen up here that nobody else knows about. That I got it, I'm good. Oh yeah, I'm straight. And up here, it's so many battles that are going on,
It's
and it's
hard.
so many battles. Am I good enough? Can I do this? Oh my God, I just sacrificed all this money. What am I going to do? Oh my God, I don't want to tell anybody. And so many things going up here. So
Yes.
I hated this community. And now, of course, we got Nadine. She's a part of the tribe.
And and then and getting there is hard. Like logic games sucks. Like I think I read that they was thinking about taking them away, and they need to.
They need to take the health out of the way, but that's
You
my
know what? And I still maintain that logic games, well, honestly, like the LSAT period, to me, I don't think it had anything to do with law school. And I had professors that would be like, "Oh yeah, you see, this is why you did logic games." I'd be like, "No, I don't see. Like, I don't know what this has to do with this analysis. I don't know." Um, but a lot of places, even though they have the LSAT in place, a lot of communities no longer consider, like, after you graduated, because even after you graduated, still would be people would still be looking at your LSAT. There are a lot of employers that no longer consider that, which is good.
we got some people with some questions in the comments. I know one that way a while ago, somebody asked, it said, so how did you balance law school with also being a mom? Did you do it full time? How was that process? Because a lot of people are saying, well, I got to wait for my kids to get out the house. I know I didn't. I just put the headphones on the kids. Let's roll. So
I I did. I went full time. It was hard. uh Luckily that my mom, so even though I'm in the military, like I'm low key spoiled, and my mom has moved to every duty station with me. So like she's down here in Jacksonville, and she would help, and my boyfriend at the time would help, and and so they helped. Like when I say like helped, like it was a kid, like like they helped because there was at one point where I went to UF. Sometimes because it's just life happening, I would have to drive from Jacksonville to UF every day.
How long is that?
It's 82 miles. That is an hour and a half. But like I had an apartment, like a little campus apartment that I could stay during the week. But again, I can't stay away from my child that long. So there were times that I had to go back and forth. And that meant those wonderful, oh, let me help you with your homework. Can granny help you? Or, someone else help you? Because I can't. That meant who's cooking dinner? Because I'm over here with these books. I'm not cook, like it was literally like that. And so I didn't work, like I didn't do any, like I taught yoga, but I did not, like there was no real other, like it was lost, period. That's all I did. Everything else was on the back burner. And I get it. Some parents will be like, "Oh gosh, why would you do that to your child?" It the sacrifice. Like some things you got to sacrifice. My child never went hungry, or was never like ignored in that. You know what I mean? There was nothing. He didn't miss out on anything. So I felt it was worth the sacrifice. And I still think that it was, we are at where I am now because of that sacrifice. Like, I can remember 20 years ago, I was like about to get evicted. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, no, like, sometimes you got to make that sacrifice, and it's not easy. It's hard to do it with a child. And it also depends on, like, the
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
Um, I think that he was, yeah, I don't do math in public, but he was in school. He probably was in like the fourth or fifth grade. So he wasn't a small child.
It was about 10 or
Right.
11.
He wasn't a small child, but I don't know if a person could do that with an infant or like toddlers. That's probably real hard. If you can, more power to you. But, I had to help.
Yeah,
I think I saw a question where someone asked about JAGs in combat or something.
yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
that question?
That, who was that? If somebody said, do JAGs have to go to combat? Aisha, I was wondering how often are JAG lawyers around combat? Is this a typical expectation with this career?
I'm going to give you a lawyer answer and say it depends. Um, and it really does depend on like what's going on in the world and what you want to do. Um, like if you want to be that JAG that's doing operational stuff and over there advising on rules of engagement, you can do that if that's what you want to do. If you want to go on a ship and do that, you can do that. Um, and I haven't, other than when there was like, Operation Enduring Freedom and stuff, and they were making people go, like that was like a long time ago where, and it wasn't just lawyers, everybody was, there was, would have to go for a period. But it's not like that now. Um, I had, and I didn't have to go. I am very no one patterned their thought of jobs in the JAG Corps after me because I am a special case. Um, I'm always the person, and people are like, "We want to know how you did what you did," because I've been in Jacksonville a long time. Um, I was in San Diego, but too, but there are like people that leave and they go on the ship and maybe they go overseas to Europe or Italy. It just depends. But this is not a situation like when you're in the Army or in a Marine Corps and you're like, oh my gosh, grab your bags, you're going to war. No.
So I have a ask you. Just piggybacking, I see K Prize 212. She said that she's currently a paralegal for the Army JAG. And she's studying for the LSAT. I guess, she's definitely going to be hitting you up probably. But I want to know, like, when going the JAG route, is it different if you would based off of the different service? If you go Army, if you go Marines, what's the pathway? Is the pathway's the same? I'm gonna get a lawyer answer.
Right, because I don't really know the other service process, so to speak. I think they all have the whole, like, if you're a student, you can apply through them. Um, and so I think that part of the process is probably the same. Um, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Navy, we all go to the same, the after schooling.
Okay.
And I want to say Air Force and Army, it's different. I don't really know what it is, but it's different. Um, so, but the way the jobs are different.
Right.
So like, in the Navy, your job, you're going to have some type of lawyering job. Like, you may be like a department head or something, but you're going to be a lawyer versus like nobody is about to be like saying stop doing lawyer stuff and go lead a platoon or nothing like that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I know that didn't help
Oh
you,
no, I'm
but I
asking. I mean,
can't,
I saw people ask. As soon as she said Army JAG, I was like, huh. And so one of the things I think I really want to dive into, and thank again, you guys were online with the GOAT, Nadine. Of course, she'll say she's not the GOAT, but she is. Who's an attorney, first of one of one at Florida, and then continue to become one of one everywhere else. Holding it down in Duval right
I,
now, right?
I am. I
I,
am.
I won't do the shout. I won't do the shout.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But nevertheless, one of the things I think for people who are starting their journey, I think one of the things I really just focus on what you were saying is it's about sacrifice. And I think the first part of that process, you guys, we go through is with the LSAT. You're going to have to understand you're not going to be able to go wild. You're not going to like it. We're going to curse out the books. I know I threw my books and lost my religion plenty of times. There's going to be tears, but understanding that it's a process where you're trying to now condition yourself to prepare for the next step. Because think about it, like it's funny doing the whole process, right? You complain about the LSAT, then you get in law school, then you complain about finals, then you complain about NPRE, and then you take the bar, then you complain about the bar. But throughout every step of the process, you're evolving and changing, and what you thought was your threshold continues to go up and up. And you sit here, I say, man, if you think about how far you come, and like you can share, like for example, where one of those moments for you where you it's like I thought I was ready to pack my bags and go home. How did you break through that process? Because I think a lot of people out there, especially right now, man, they're really they're really thinking about giving up. What would you tell them who are on the cusp of saying, I'm done?
I would say, one, don't give up, right? Sometimes things are hard. I took the LSAT 3 times.
Hold on. Let me get this right. So the GOAT, and I'm saying this for you guys to be able to understand, because the reason why this platform is here for you guys to understand, man, the struggle is a part of the growth process, you guys.
It's real.
That means the rejections are going to happen. The retakes are going to happen. You're going to hear no. You're going to fail. But what happened after the third time, sis?
So I took the LSAT 3 times in a situation where like everybody was telling me don't take it multiple times because like some schools will combine it and this and this and that. And me being the person, because I'm like always like, you know what, I could do this. First time I don't laugh, y'all. First time I took the LSAT, I didn't study. Like I was like, it's like any other test. Why not? Whatever. I had like the workbook, right? I did it. Then I did a course. Then I redid the course. But I'm not a standardized test person, not in that sense. Like, if you're having me to do something that know, like, that don't have nothing to do with school, I maintain that. It's not like I have to do like 1 + 1 is 2. You know what I mean. So I couldn't understand it. I struggled, and so I was like, you know what, whatever. There's other parts of the law school application. You know, my grades were good, like real good. So I know this LSAT might not be that great. What are some things that I can do? I know that my GPA is on point, higher than needed. So I can, I know that part I had. So, all right, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna, this personal statement or whatever. I'm gonna work on that. If you need, like, sometimes you might need recommendation letters. I know I got that. The things, control what you can. Because
Facts.
it's not gonna be perfect. Control what you can. That's all you can do.
And I hope you guys caught these gems that she's throwing out here. Listen, man, the LSAT, wherever our feelings are about it, the fact that people are getting in law school, regardless of their LSAT scores, lets you guys know that means that you have the power to have impact and influence on other parts of your application. But that's up to you. And it's up to you taking that ownership. All right, man, my LSAT's going to be what it is. But that means that my personal statement got to be fire. That means my letters of recommendation, man, they got to be singing my praises like they my mama. Like, everything has to understand that, okay, so that means everything else has to shine, you guys. Because, go ahead.
Like my one of my children just blinked in. Just like blowing me up. And I'm
So,
like, no, stop. Um, but another thing is too, so let's say your LSAT doesn't get good and your grades are just okay, but you're like, law school is for me. Law school is for me. Okay. Go to the school that accepts you. And then transfer to the school that you want to go to. You can do that. Like if you really have it in your mind that you have to do something, I'm sorry, I need to tell her I'm on IG. Um, it do it. But sometimes you gotta take the half step before the like my pastor always say, small steps lead to great distances.
I love that.
Right? Small steps lead to great distances. So, all right, you might have this dream law school in mind, but your credentials at this point, then you can't get there. So it's like when they tell the kids to go to the community college, go to the school that will accept you, do amazing there, then transfer. Now you have your, white picket fence dream of school. You know what I mean? So you just got to do it in a way that works for you.
And just to piggyback, that means, sis, there's 197 ABA accredited law schools. 197.
See,
And so
see,
that means that all we need is one.
you just need one.
And that means that will I have to move? Maybe.
See,
Will I have to, you know, step out my comfort zone? Absolutely. And because what I tell people, sis, and you can agree or disagree, I feel like at the end of the day, if we don't get into law school, it's not because of the law schools, it's because we refuse to step out of our comfort zone and find schools who will accept us. And Kate Price 212, you can answer this
she
question. She said,
said, do
also,
law school rankings matter? Well, it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. So, um, if you have a goal in mind, you have to set up how you gonna get there. For me, I was very strategic in going to University of Florida. Why? Because at the time, I believed that's what I needed to do to get to my next goal. Now I know that's not necessarily the case. Like, so I am the HBCU diversity liaison for law schools for the JAG Corps.
wow.
So, but I didn't know, back then. It's like you're listening to what people are telling you to do. So I'm like, I need to go to a top tier law school because I know that my goal is to get in the JAG Corps. So everything that I did was extremely calculated. So if your goal is I want to be a lawyer and I want to open my own practice, no, your law school ranking does not matter. If it's I want to work for a Fortune 500, company, maybe you, they probably want you to be at, a top 50 or something, but that's why I say it depends on what your goal is. If it's just I want to be a lawyer, well then go to the school that accepts you.
You got that? You got that?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is amazing. I see here. I just want to. Kay Cross. She says she's in the DMV and she wants to attend UDC. And so Kay Price 212. Of course, I say this with nothing but love. Then you must to make sure that you're going to be at the Clio Connects function that they're going to have in DC. Clio Scholars, of course, is a program. I'm sure you know about Clio Scholars. They help. You don't?
No, but I heard you saying it. I was looking at your video or something the other day, and I'm like, what is this?
And so
But it sounds
yeah.
amazing.
So Clio Scholars is a program that literally helps people who look like me and you. And they've been helping folks since 1964, y'all, get into law school. They give them resources, and they have functions all over the country. But guess what, fam? We don't be going. We don't
No,
be going.
no,
And I know that they don't get a lot of
no.
shares on their events. And so I always try to post them and reshare them so you guys are able to go to them. So K Prize 12 says, you better be at that event. It's free night, and I get this, Nadine. Not only do they feed you, I go for a free meal.
Right.
They'll give you free resources, and they're also giving you free LSAT prep materials to help
Oh,
you. And
y'all missing out by not. If y'all not going, y'all definitely
I'm
missing
a
out.
meal, you know what I mean? And literally, I think the link is in my stories. All you got to do is click and sign up, and it's free 99. And so let's see here. Destiny said, for Navy JAG, have you guys accepted people that have attended online law programs? That's actually a good question.
So the JAG Corps has a requirement that the law school is ABA accredited. So I don't know the accreditation of online law schools, but if it meets that, ABA accreditation, then yes. But if it doesn't, then no.
And right now, let's see here, because this is Destiny. And Destiny, right now, there are 12 ABA accredited online law schools. And you want to be careful about that. You got to check their status because there are a lot of other law programs. They may be Cali barred. I love Cali, but they're not ABA accredited. And Cali barred schools, I don't want to bore you guys too much with details. That is only means something in California. And so you have to check that status. And I love Purdue. Purdue right now is in the process of trying to get a law school online, but they're not ABA accredited yet. So you have to check that ABA status. But if you typed on Google and typed in law schools, boy, those first 4 or 5 law schools, they look hella tempting, but
But they're not.
accredited. And guess what? They still cost the same amount of money. So you don't want to
So
take.
don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Hey, we heard Destiny. She told you what to do. Take the assignment. All right. So here we go. Faith, I want to ask, what's the lowest score that LSAT can be? I think. What's the lowest score that you can have on the LSAT? I think it's like a 120. I think.
I'm, don't
We,
get me lying.
hey, Faith, we're not worrying about the low scores. We're gonna
Mm-mm. We worrying about the best one that you can do that's gonna get you in a law school.
absolutely, absolutely. And let's see here. I want to give you the floor to give your final word to someone or share a story. I think I love storytelling. And one of the things I tell you guys is the storytelling is where we're able to connect with people. And I think sis, you done already connected with so many. You saw people in the comments talking about you, talking about, ooh, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna see that. And so I want you to tell them a story about yourself that they could be like, okay, I got my word until Sunday, so I'm ready to go, motivated and pushing.
Oh gosh, that's the pressure. So we know that law school is hard, and it's not, it's something that you have to be dedicated to. But as you're thinking about, do I need this score? Does it have to be top tier or not? You need to be thinking about, one, why are you going to law school, and what is your purpose after law school? So I knew that by the time I got to law school, I wanted to be a Navy JAG. So every single thing I did was to further that goal. So it was like, okay, I'm in the law school. The law school I picked was based on, at the time, what I thought would give me the best chance of becoming a Navy JAG. When it came to internships, I did that. I moved to DC and did a free internship. Why? Because it was for the JAG Corps, and I knew that was how I got my foot in the door. Shout out to my best friend who let me live there for a whole summer for free, because everybody won't do that. But those are like little sacrifices. That also meant I had to leave my child, for somebody to watch, and I went there. But you have to set out your goal, and then small steps by small steps lead to great distances. So you set your big picture out, and then slowly step one foot in front of the other, and you can do it. And whenever you get discouraged, one, somebody out there got it worse.
Mm.
Two,
That's
you at that point you probably made it further than you ever thought you would make it, so you might as well keep pushing. And three, like, remember those people that said you weren't gonna be, you couldn't do it, wouldn't, don't give them the ammunition to say I told you so.
ooh, boy, yeah.
Don't go down without a fight. Keep it pushing. You can do it.
Wow. And sis, tell them where they can be able to reach out to you if they have questions, because I'm sure, one of the things that's amazing is now they get a chance to see somebody doing something that they want to do. They can hear you, talk to you, see that she's from the Chi, see that she's doing things down in Duval.
I am down in Duval. So I think I see some students. If you guys are like um HBCU law students, I do, when I can, I do go there and do some recruiting events. But it don't have to be me. Like, if you see a Navy JAG there, feel free, go up and talk to them. You can tell them, hey, I talked to Nadine, blah blah blah. Start the conversation. Use me as icebreaker. But you can find me at _N_NACOLE on Instagram. On Facebook, I am Nadine Pyeur, Pyuer. And feel free, send me a friend request. Send me a message or something. I will respond. Like, if you have like other law school questions, other JAG Corps questions, anything, honestly, I'm happy to help.
Absolutely. You guys, listen, man, we're all a family here and we all want to be able to see you guys win. But ultimately, the rest with you guys, realize that the struggles that we go through are just something that we're going, it's just a part of the process. And I love that state. You got to say this for the end before we close out. What is it? Every step, small steps. What is it?
Small steps lead to great distances. Y'all, that is my pastor's saying. We ain't, we gonna use it, but that's a Pastor Duncan original. Small steps lead to great distances. So yes.
So, you guys, thank you guys for joining us for tonight. Nadine, thank you so, so much. And you guys, remember, reach out to us. We want to see you guys win. You determine where your life is going to go, not the challenges ahead. And so make sure you guys tune in. Of course, we're going to be back here next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Again, thank you, Nadine, so much for joining
Thank
us tonight.
you. Thank you. Y'all have a good
Peace and
night.
blessings.
Bye.